Okay, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just completing some of my buzz bombs. This one I've already finished it, put a fuse on it. This one I haven't done, so I was gonna try to record a video. It's not really exciting, but it's just something to show, that way in case others don't really understand it or how that works. Anyways, this is just what I do. I always label what I do. My buzz bomb, I always start off with the base clay, which is just a flat spot, and then this point between this is what has that little cone shape on the tool, and that's where you drill the hole. That way whenever you actually get the thrust, it doesn't burn through the tube as fast. This little concave or cone or whatever you want to call it from the tool, it just kind of creates a V, and as you drill into that clay, it makes it harder for it not to burn through. You could treat these tubes, which I have done in the past. That way you can actually make these without using the tools, but I find that it's much easier to use the tools. Anyways, what I do is I pretty much just grab a 1/8 drill bit, and then I drill the hole. But what you want to do first is, I'm gonna modify this little wing, but what you want to do first is you want to place the wing like this and kind of just mock it up a little bit of how you're going to do it. And then you kind of put this dot at 8 o'clock. So you do that, and then you kind of just look at it like this. So you see the hole is at 8 o'clock and the wing is flat here. And that's how you pretty much determine where you want to drill this hole, which I've already done. So then you just pretty much get your drill and then just drill your hole. You don't want to go all the way through, because if you do that, you're going to mess up the little concave that you made in there with the tooling. Just keep drilling until you feel the drill kind of get a little bit like soft or whatever you want to call it. You'll feel it start to press into the tube a little easier once you drill through that clay. Like I just felt that the clay's coming out, and then you'll start seeing black powder come out like that. Once you start seeing the black powder come out, which I'll show you, you know you've drilled enough through the clay, as you saw the clay was coming out. So that's a perfect spot of where you want that. Next, what I do is I take my fuse, insert that like so. It doesn't go all the way in because you didn't drill all the way through the tube. You only drilled halfway in. And then what I do is I make sure I line it up. Sometimes these fuses have like a natural bend to them, but what I do is I do that right there. Place a zip tie on it. You can use tape or whatever you want. I just happen to use zip ties right now because they're pretty cheap. That's just to hold the fuse in place. And then that's pretty much it. I have some cutters, but so for my wing, all this little notch in here, I don't know if you can see that, this little notch right here, all that does is lock into place on the tube. So what you would normally do is you would drill a small little divot into the tube, and this just locks it in to protect it from flying off whenever it's spinning. I don't use it because I find that my tubes don't fit flat, and it causes this wing to kind of bend up a little bit, kind of like that. So I'm gonna glue this later obviously, but see, now that I trimmed off that little piece, the wing slides right on. This kind of just puts 8 o'clock. The wing is nice and flat, as you can see. If you don't remove that little piece of plastic that was in there, it causes this wing not to sit flush, and it kind of folds the wings up, and it doesn't really fly too well. But like I said, if you just drill a small little divot into the tube, it'll sit flush. I don't like that though, so pretty much what I'll do is I'll glue this wing on there and drill in here, make a report. I just went ahead and 3D printed a tiny little 1/2-inch plug. Fits perfectly in there. I don't want to put it in there all the way because then it'll get stuck, but that is what I'll use. I'll glue it in place, put a little bit of flash powder, and then make this into an actual buzz bomb. If it just flies in the air, it's usually just called a helicopter, but I call them buzz bombs regardless. Anyways, this is the finished product. Don't forget 8 o'clock compared to where that is at. If you just look at it, these I don't necessarily put the wing in the middle. Some people will think about doing that. Usually I'll put it about half an inch away from the tip, only because when this thing starts to get its gyroscopic spin action, it's going to start to spin on this little peg right here, which is why you want to use something super flat and something that won't catch. Like I guess asphalt on the street is too porous, so this will get caught, and that's why sometimes you'll see the Buzzbomb flip over and spin and not fly. Put it on a flat surface, it'll spin on that peg, and then it'll take off when it builds up enough thrust. Anyways, that was just a quick video on the Buzzbombs and kind of how I make them. Anyways, thanks for watching.